Breaking news right now this morning, India firing missiles into Pakistani-controlled territory overnight, reportedly killing at least 26 people in what Pakistani leaders are calling, quote, an act of war. President Trump responding at the White House yesterday.
It's a shame. I guess people knew something was going to happen based on a little bit of the past. They've been fighting for a long time. You know, they've been fighting for many, many decades and centuries, actually, if you really think about it. No, I just hope it ends very quickly.
The Trump administration urging both sides to de-escalate tensions. Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying this. I echo the president's comments earlier today that this hopefully ends quickly and will continue to engage both Indian and Pakistani leadership toward a peaceful resolution. Joining me now is retired two-star Marine Corps General, Punaro Group CEO Arnold Punaro. General, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Your reaction to the events overnight.
Maria, you summed it up well. Two nuclear-armed neighbors that have been at each other's throats for 80 years over the displaced Muslim majority region of Kashmir. India controls 2/3, Pakistan controls 1/3. It's been a flashpoint, as the president mentioned, for decades for a larger regional or global conflict. What recently happened was a Pakistani terrorist group attacked a group of Hindu Indian tourists in the Indian-controlled part of Kashmir. India obviously felt like they needed to retaliate, which they did, as you mentioned, attacked targets, 8 targets in the Pakistan-controlled portion of Kashmir, as well as in Pakistan proper. Now the Pakistanis are saying they're going to retaliate to the retaliation. You're basically talking about a situation where these two neighbors, frosty relations, have been at each other's throats, not just over Kashmir, but just over that neighborhood for decades. India has a much larger conventional force, but both of them have equal nuclear weapons. India has rejected no first use of their nuclear weapons. Pakistan has not. It's a very, very worrisome situation. Secretary Rubio is correct. The United States should do everything we can to try to de-escalate these tensions. But let's be not serious about it, as you said. This could escalate and escalate quickly.
These are two nuclear powers, General. What should we be reading into this? And what is behind this, in your view, this new escalation?
Well, Maria, I don't want to go too far on this, but I will tell you this brings China into play. I see China's hand involved in this. Maybe they didn't prompt the terrorist attack. They've gotten extremely close to Pakistan military and economically. Pakistan, as you know, harbored the Taliban and gave them sanctuary during the whole Afghan war against U.S. interests. That's why the Taliban was so strong at the end. Pakistan, with China, has provided nuclear expertise to Iran. On the other hand, we've gotten very close to India, that's moved away from the Soviet Union and Russia. They have a dispute with China. India now has a larger population than China. Their population is young and growing. China's population is shrinking and getting older. So there's a lot at play here that's broader than just this long-standing dispute over Kashmir.
At the same time, China's economy is weakening, and the Chinese Communist Party is going to do a press conference at 9 a.m. to introduce new stimulus packages there, as well as lowering interest rates overnight. So China is in its own weakened position, economically speaking, General.
That's correct, and it's going to get worse because of their aging population. If you look at what's going to happen over the next 20 years, India compared to China, I would much rather be in India's situation. But on the other hand, you know, China basically, as you know, plays a lot of games, and they do a lot to distract from what's currently going on. I hate to say it, but they're a country that probably, again, they've got a huge border dispute in the Himalayas with India. They'd like to kind of put India in a box a little bit. I think this puts them on the spot.
President Trump says the U.S. will stop its bombing campaign against the Houthi rebels. Meanwhile, in Yemen, the terrorist group told him that they don't want to fight anymore. Watch this.
The Houthis have announced that they are not, or they've announced to us at least, that they don't want to fight anymore. They just don't want to fight. And we will honor that. And we will stop the bombings. And they have capitulated. We will take their word. They say they will not be blowing up ships anymore.
General, your reaction?
Well, Maria, this is a really good development, but not unexpected after over 51 days and 800 airstrikes by the United States military on Houthi targets, which has decimated a lot of their military and infrastructure. The Houthis have cried uncle, and this is a good thing. The president indicated they've agreed not to stop attacking shipping. I certainly hope that covers U.S. ships as well as the ships in the Red Sea. They also should agree to quit firing missiles into Israel. But what's going on here is, of course, as you know, Iran's the evil puppeteer that directs the Houthis. I think Iran has figured out, holy smokes, with President Trump right now, they've got stuff that's at serious risk, and they better have the Houthis calm down. Hopefully this will allow us to put more pressure on Iran to calm down, not just the Houthis, but Hamas and Hezbollah. President Trump has developed this into having a very strong upper hand right now. In my judgment, we should keep the pressure on Iran and take advantage of this opportunity that President Trump has created.
Yeah, so you believe the Houthis then? We're supposed to believe that they're done fighting.
I'm a military guy, Maria. I never believe the enemy when they say a ceasefire. I've been in too many conflicts and wars myself when there was supposed to be a Christmas ceasefire. When I was in Vietnam, there was no ceasefire. So our military, I can guarantee you, they're at the ready 24/7. If the Houthis stick their heads up at all, I think the president's going to pound them back to submission.
My point exactly. General, good to see you this morning, sir. Thank you.